Your goal today is to solve equations with variables on both sides. So if you need to, pause up the video, copy down your goal, and here is our first example we're going to do together. There it is. And if you notice, like I said, the goal is variables on both sides, so I have variables on both sides. I'm going to circle up those variables. So on this side I have a minus 3r, and on this side I have a positive 5r. I like to move my smaller variables to my other side. So I'm going to move my minus 3r over to this side. So remember, this is an equation. This is the equal sign. This is one half of the equation. This is the other half. So to get this minus 3r over to the other side, I have to do the opposite, which is plus 3r. If I do a plus 3r on this side, plus 3r on this side, to keep my equation balanced, opposites cancel out, and I get 16 equals 5 plus 3r, 5r's plus 3r makes 8r minus 8. I have a two-step equation. I'm trying to find out what r is. So I'm going to get rid of the minus 8, negative 8, and the opposite is a plus 8. Both sides to keep it balanced. 16 plus 8 is 24. These cancel out, and I'm left with just 8r. Since I'm trying to find r and it's being multiplied by 8, I want to do the opposite, which is divide both sides by 8. And I get 3 equals r, because these 8 divided by 8 is 1r. So r equals 3. And you can plug it in if you have time and check your work. Here's our second example. I guess it's not working the way I wanted it to work today. So here's our second example. Notice I've got distributive there. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of this distributive. I gave you a big one here. So I need to put my ketchup on my hamburger and ketchup on my fries. So over here I'm going to keep my 2m plus 5, and 5 times m, which is 5m. 5 times 7 is 35, minus 3m. Now before I start moving anything, notice on this side of my equation I have 5m minus 3m. So I'm going to combine those like terms like we learned in class the other day. So I'm going to keep my 2m plus 5. I can't combine them because they're not both m's. 5m minus 3m gives me 2m minus 35. And now I have a problem like I had for our first example. I have m's here and m's here. So I'm going to get rid of my smaller m, but this time they're both the same. So I'm just going to move this m to the other side by doing the opposite of a positive 2m, which is a minus 2m. And I get 0 plus 5 equals, and these cancel out, negative 35. 0 plus 5, I lost my m. 2m's minus 2m's is 0. So 0 plus 5 is 5. Well, 5 doesn't equal a negative 35. So this is a special equation. And when we run into this, this has a special thing. I'm going to slide it up so you can see it. Since 5 equals negative 5 is a false statement, this equation has no solution. So we call this no solution, because I did not get a m equals, and instead I got a 5 equals negative 5, which is not true. So when I end up with a statement that's not true, we say no solution. And what that means is that no matter what number I plug in for m, when I put it on both sides, this will not be equal. There's no way to put a number on this side for m and that same number over here for m and have my two sides equal. So that's why that one's called a no solution. If you need to, pause the video up to copy down that fact on the bottom, because you do need to know that. Here's our third example. For some reason I set it up to disappear and it's not. So here's our next example. So again, I see my parentheses, so I need to distribute. Put my ketchup on my hamburger and then ketchup on my fries. So let me write the first part. 5h minus 7 equals 5 times h, which is 5h. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 plus 3. I'm going to combine like terms. Over here I have 5h minus 7. I can't put that together because they're not both h's. Over here I only have one h, one thing with h, but I have a negative 10 plus 3. So a negative 10, or remember you can switch it the other way, 3 minus 10. So a negative 10 plus 3 is a negative 7. So now I'm going to move my variables first. So I have a 5h here and a 5h over here. So to move one to the other, I got to do the opposite. I'm going to move this one over here. So the opposite of a 5h is a negative 5h, negative 5h. Opposites cancel out. Positive 5h minus 5h gives me 0. So I'm left with negative 7 equals 5h minus 5h gives me 0 equals negative 7. So this time I have a true statement. Negative 7 does equal negative 7, but I didn't end up with an h equals. So that means that for this one, let me slide this up. Since all of the equation, since each side of the equation are the same, this equation is called an identity. So all numbers for h will make this true. No matter what I plug in for h, whether it's a 1, a 2, a negative 5, a negative 6, it will be a true statement. So this is, the way we write that is all real numbers. We write this. Oops, sorry guys. We write this. It's called all real numbers. That's the solution to this one. Something new. This is some algebra that I'm putting in with you guys now. Alright, so if I get a true statement, that means all real numbers. I can put in any number I want and it'll work. If I get an untrue statement, then that's a no solution. And if I just get something equals the variable, then that's my answer. So those are your three choices when we're solving a problem with equations, variables on both sides. Alright, it's either no solution, all real numbers, or we get one number. Oh, I thought I saved it. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry guys, I opened up the wrong file, so let me open it up quickly. I hate to do this to you. I'll try and cut it out if I can. That's why it wasn't working. Sorry guys, I opened up the wrong one. So here you go. Your turn. Copy down the problem. Pause the video because I'm going to show you the answer in about 3 seconds. So pause up the video, copy the equation, and solve it. Here's what you should have gotten. You should have subtracted 3k from both sides. And then you got negative 5 equals 4k minus 21. So then you added 21 to both sides. and you got 16 equals 4k. Divided both sides by 4, and you got 4 equals k. So that's the solution to that answer. Here's your second one. Notice this has distributive on both sides. So put your ketchup on your hamburger and on your french fries on the one side, and then put your ketchup on your hamburger and your french fries on the other side. Pause up the video because I'm about to show you the answers in about 3 seconds. Oh, there it is. Alright, if you need to, pause up the video so that you can see it. Double check your work. It involved a lot of work in there. So we got k equals 23. Notice I didn't give you any on the your turns with no solution or all real numbers. We may see some of those in class tomorrow. Remember, if you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow.